What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome to another week of Hero or Zero. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking one comic book character, as we do every single week. We talk their good points and their bad points, and we generally just give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun Meehan. Shaun, how is it going?
I'm great, Connor. I'm excited for you to regale us with another shit DC Comics character.
That was so happy. You came in like so happy and just, I mean, I would say just polite.
Yeah,
that would be the word I would use.
It's the tone I give off in my general life as a polite young man. Yeah. But then, hit him out of left field. Why is Hero or Zero different, Shaun? Please let the audience in. Oh, well, we take one comic book character every... I never know how to do this.
Yes.
Christ.
138 weeks. Still can't do an intro.
Edits all of them. Can't do an intro.
So, Shaun, as you said, this is the show. You very eloquently told me there a second ago that I choose DC characters.
Yeah.
You normally choose Marvel characters. And
usually.
So last week, you chose a character that probably wasn't great. I can't remember, but it probably wasn't that good.
Well, Connor, I am livid because I definitely remember who I did last week. Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. That's who I did. Yeah.
There was a moment there where you looked terrified because you had forgotten.
I did. I forgot things that I said.
So this week I decided Kamala Khan had an interesting power set, and by that I mean that I didn't know that she could like morph her body into different shapes.
Every cell in her body can time travel. Yeah.
Interesting. So what I decided this week was I would try to find the DC equivalent of what you were throwing out. And so I came up with a character known as Metamorpho, Shaun. Otherwise known as Rex Mason.
Cool name, I must say. Metamorpho. I feel like I've heard that before.
He's been in like The Brave and the Bold. He was in Young Justice a little bit.
I watched a lot of Brave and the Bold after school growing up, so I think that might be it. I also think he was that's it. When I used to work in the toy shop, he was one of the DC Lego figures. He had a real big hand. It was real easy to find him in the bag. Used to do it to help people out.
But he's got a whole host of other powers, and what I will say, he's got the classic DC thing of that he's so overpowered nobody could ever beat him.
Excellent, that's what you want, is no stakes.
So he was created by Bob Haney and Ramona Fradon. Now this is the same guy that created Enchantress and Negative Man from the Doom Patrol, but has said that this is the single best character thing that he ever did. Was the creation of Metamorpho, which is interesting for a character that I don't think is very mainstream.
No, yeah, and I like that he's like clearly a fan of him though. He's like, no, I really like writing Metamorpho. I think he's great. Yeah,
and so what happened was that they, after the success of Haney's creations of the Doom Patrol and Metal Men, they basically decided that he would create a parody character. And the parody character that he created was Metamorpho, but it then very quickly evolved into that he was just a good character. They were just going to use in comic books. And so he was created in January of 1965, so he has been around quite a while.
Yeah, 60 odd years in comics or something.
Yeah, and so he had his first few test issues in The Brave and the Bold, and then immediately got his own series in 1965 to 1968.
He got his own series?
Yes.
Metamorpho did.
He was promoted really heavily for the first few years.
Right, oh, that's pretty good for a parody character.
Yeah. He also made guest appearances in like Aquaman and the Justice League of America, in which he famously rejected membership at one point.
It's like, nah, don't like you guys.
Nah, I'm too fucking good for ye, bitches.
I'm too cool.
So his origin is of Metamorpho or Rex Mason. And it has been changed. It changed slightly in 2007, but I'm going to do the original origin story that they showed us. And so it is... I'm going to have to get a bit historical here, because in ancient Egypt, during the reign of Pharaoh Ramses II, the priest Akton discovered a fallen meteor, Shaun, from which he crafted the Orb of Ra.
Interesting. Okay. And it's just an orb. There's no magic,
there's a bit of magic, I suppose, but it's just like an orb of Ra. It's from Egypt. It's definitely not going to fall into the wrong hands or give anyone powers, is what I'm going to definitely say right now.
Well, thank you for wasting all of our time.
Now, a powerful artifact that would be used as a weapon in the future, Shaun.
No. Oh, they would throw the orb at people and break their skull.
It's very, very thick. And if it hits you in the face, you are dead. Right? So, millennia later, a few years later, I don't know if I would put a number 7. 7 years later.
If I had to pick a number.
Or millennia. An adventurer and soldier of fortune, Rex Mason, was hired by businessman Simon Stagg to retrieve the ancient artifact known as the Orb of Ra from Egypt, Shaun.
Okay, I'm on board. Stagg and Mason back at it again.
So you've got Stagg, right? Simon Stagg is known dickhead in the DC universe. He's a rich dude. He's after hiring this guy to go in and just find this orb that he wants. That's in Egypt.
Right.
And Rex Mason, he's been hired in. Now Rex, he makes a mistake because he's involved in a romantic relationship with Sapphire Stagg, Simon's daughter, Shaun.
Rex, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yes. And so what Simon does is he hires Rex in. He's like, you're going to date my daughter. I'm going to have you killed.
Here are 8 simple rules for dating my teenage... Sorry.
Here's Kaylee Cuoco. He basically says, Rex, I want to hire you in. You're going to go off with my bodyguard, Java, and go find this orb in Egypt. And so Rex and Java, they go off. And Simon's like, don't worry, daughter, he's going to come back safe. Definitely, wink wink, nudge nudge, he's fucking dead.
He's definitely a dead man, correct.
So Java and Rex, they show up and they locate the orb. They go into one of the pyramids and they're like, it's right there. And he goes, great stuff.
Just casually strolls. Was he looking for the orb originally and then the daughter thing happened? Like,
no, he's dating the daughter and then Stagg comes up with the plan.
Big expedition. Right, okay. Sorry, because I thought he just happened to find it on the very day that he had wronged Stagg.
No, and so he basically he gets set up by Stagg to go on this mission with his bodyguard. And they come across the orb, but he's double-crossed by Stagg's bodyguard Java and abandoned Shaun, beaten the shit out of in the pyramid and knocked unconscious.
Mother of fuck. Okay. Not looking good for Rex at the minute.
Now, at this point, Rex is knocked out in this pyramid.
No one knows that he's there.
Nobody knows. But there's one thing in the area that is still there, and that is the Orb of Ra.
The Orb of
okay?
Ra. Connor,
or
what
the
is
mysterious... Sorry, I just want to... I know you're going to like this next sentence. He becomes accidentally irradiated by the mysterious meteorite that was used to create the Orb of Ra. You know how it is.
Of course. I feel like they understood meteorites enough in the 60s that, like, they would have known that that's not even close to correct. I'll forgive the Flash being struck by lightning and falling in some chemicals. That was the best they could do back in the day. But in the 60s, you've had fucking science happen in the meantime.
Yeah, but what happens, right? A meteor comes down, lands on Earth, and just it gives you this Orb of Ra, this powerful artifact, whatever.
Yeah.
But more importantly, the meteor's still in the pyramid. So poor old Rex, he's having a bit of a snooze. He's knocked out. And just the radiation from the meteorite is just seeping into him. He's just drinking it in. It's like Superman sitting in front of the sun, like. And through that, things happen and Rex gets superpowers.
He just manifests superpowers based on...
Yeah.
Is this all like some kind of fantasy he has as he's slowly growing a brain tumour?
And so the meteor transforms Rex into Metamorpho, the Element Man, Shaun.
No, Connor, you're thinking of the Academy Award-winning movie, The Elephant Man.
Ironically, I forgot. The Elephant Man is what his name is. Soon after, he sought the Justice League's help in restoring him to normal, straight away onto the Justice League.
He took it right to the top.
It's right to the top. He went straight to the president. This failed, and Rex also rejected the JLA's offer of membership at this time.
You dickheads.
So he turns up, he's like, lads, I have been given superpowers, but I'm a freak. And why he's a freak is because he can control anything in his body. Any molecule. And you're going to like this, Shaun. He can create any element on the periodic table. He can make his body anything.
Sorry, what?
Any element that exists in the world.
Any element?
Yes.
What about helium?
He can make his body gas, liquid, solid, anything.
What about lithium, Connor?
Even lithium.
Argon?
Nevada's best. Yes.
Surely not francium.
You've just looked up the table, haven't you?
No, I have not. Oh, Dmitry Mendeleev. Interesting.
He has, yes. So he's able to become any element that has ever existed on the earth.
What? That's fucking mad. How does he lose anything?
Yeah, you might think it's almost too powerful.
So he could make his whole body like lead and just fucking crush someone to death.
If he wanted to.
He could turn himself into mercury and dive down someone's throat.
Yes.
That's fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it is, but he turned to superhero rather than villain.
Wow. I would not have said that was... I would have thought like, Stretchy can make his hands big and all that. Not any element on the periodic table. That's class.
So Rex finally came to terms with his new... What?
Sodium?
Yes. Whatever you're going to say and whatever you're reading on the table, yes.
Continue.
Rex finally came to terms with his newfound powers and decided to use them for good, Shaun. And so he started a career as a hero and was always assisted by Sapphire Stagg Mason and her father Simon Stagg. So Sapphire, she's still with him. He comes back, he thinks he's a freak, and he's just like, don't look at me, Justice League couldn't heal me, I don't want to even be a hero. And she's like, you can do good. You are a nice man and you can do good. And Simon Stagg's in the back like he's a fucking dickhead. But the daughter is still sitting there going, this guy's great. And so they get married and she's giving him a bit of a confidence boost. There's even a situation where she makes him his costume.
Oh, that's cute. And she's like, you can fight crime in this. Or you could just turn your whole body to titanium and be invincible. But what do I know?
Can he do that? Can he do that?
Let me just check, Connor. No, it's on the table. It's on the table, ladies and gentlemen.
Just confirmed. Yeah, thank you very much. So he first appeared in The Brave and the Bold in 1965, as I said, and over his 2-issue test run, he went on to get a short-lived ongoing series. And during the series, he had serious adventures in which he encountered such enemies so known as, and Shaun, you're going to like this, Dr. Dread, good one.
Very good.
Stingery, not so good.
No.
And his arch nemesis, Java, the man who knocked him out.
Does Java have any powers at this point? Or?
He's just a big dude. He's good at punching.
But can he punch? I don't know if I had to pick one. Let me just have a look. Can he punch solid nitrogen?
Yes, actually. That's Java's one power.
His one power is nitrogen. Well, we'd better go with iodine then.
Oh no!
Sorry.
Any cuts.
Why doesn't he just sneak into Java's house at night and turn into plutonium and just slowly fucking kill the man?
He's not a killer, I'm just saying.
Fine, just give him a light amount of lead poisoning.
And so after a few years of adventuring, Shaun, Metamorpho was offered the chance to return to his normal state using a scientific procedure by Simon Stagg. So Simon's come back in and he said, I can save you if you trust me.
And does he trust him? Because Simon Stagg has proven himself to be not a nice man in the past.
The experiment required that Rex would spend years submerged inside a vat of chemicals.
Interesting. Now, what kind of chemicals are we talking, Connor?
Oh, let's not go through the elements again, Shaun. Probably Coca-Cola.
Elements and chemicals are different things.
Fucking hell. Rex agreed and Stagg started the experiment. Unfortunately, the experiment had to be put on hold during the early stages because Sapphire was threatened by a hired killer known as Bounty Hunter. And immediately Stagg ran straight to Rex and took him out of the vat that he had put him in and was like, you're no longer getting healed, save my daughter. Go on there now, lad.
And we'll talk about this later.
Metamorpho once teamed up with Batman again in order to save Sapphire, but the killer managed to escape, Shaun. And there was also a freak accident story that involved Java giving Rex the powers and abilities of Batman and Superman at one stage.
What the fuck? How?
Yeah. There's just an accident.
Oh, just an accident happening.
I mean, I don't want to get into specifics, but it was a freak accident that was accidental.
Well, what I must say, Connor, I think that sounds very silly, Con. Silicon? No. It's fine.
Valley. Jean-Paul Valley. Azrael. After this, the effects reverted naturally and Metamorpho lost the powers again. He assisted Batman on several other occasions, and certain times they even worked with Plastic Man in order to clear Bruce Wayne's name. So one of them would basically be formed as like Batman or Bruce Wayne.
Makes sense. It happens once every season of The Arrow.
Every single season. Are you the Arrow? No, look at me. This is the Arrow here.
He's fucking there.
Look at him. Look at him in the shadows. Look at him. You can't really see his face, but he's in the fucking shadows over there. Don't get him to talk.
See the way his identity's completely obscured. Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me, boy. I didn't pay him. I'm the world's richest man in the city.
Very good.
What happened then was that Rex was continuing his adventuring solo until the day when Batman's associate Lucius Fox was kidnapped in Markovia by Baron Bedlam, Shaun, which is a story we've actually covered here on Hero Zero before, because it is the foundation for a team of superheroes known as the Outsiders.
Yes.
What happened was that Lucius Fox gets kidnapped. Batman is like, oh no, Baron Bedlam has taken him. And at that time, Metamorpho had been seeking a cure from a Markovian scientist, Dr. Helga Jace. Metamorpho was dragged in and he aided in overthrowing Bedlam and decided to stay on with this new group of heroes because Batman had gathered all these people that were in the area. And they were like, you're all in, because the Outsiders were kind of like freaks that were not part of the Justice League and were not allowed in.
And Metamorpho doesn't like the Justice League.
No, he's known to reject all offers. But he's worked with Batman a lot. So him and Batman have like a connection.
Yeah.
And so Batman says, you come into my team, we're going to join up and be called the Outsiders. With time, Dr. Jace was on her way to discovering a way to cure Rex. So he's constantly trying to cure himself.
He just wants to be a regular man.
Like, he hates the fact that he's this powerful.
That's mad. That's quite interesting that he's like, no, I don't want this. I just want to be a soldier for fortune. Is that what was...
Yeah, I think so. A hired soldier for... It was a soldier for hire is what the job title they gave him.
Or is now he's some kind of hero for rent? Not assassin, no.
So in the meantime, so Dr. Jace was on her way to discovering a cure, and in the meantime she helped him gain access to his girlfriend Sapphire Stagg. The reunion was brief, as her father, Simon, killed Rex using the Orb of Ra, Shaun.
Hit him in the head with it real hard.
I will say, Orb of Ra is his kryptonite.
I see. So anytime the Orb of Ra is... should he not just carry it around him all the time and he'll be a regular man? Or does he not lose his powers? He's just very weak to it.
He's just like turned into a little bitch like Superman. He's like, oh, I can't stand up.
Unless I like sit in front of the sun for 5 minutes and then lift an island. That's weird.
Although Metamorpho was already dead, Dr. Jace knew there was a way to revive him, and she asked the outsiders for help, Shaun.
The man just wants to either be human or die. One of those two.
Just leave him be.
He's happy.
To restore him, the outsiders decided to return to Egypt in search of the meteor.
For fuck's sake. He doesn't want this.
There, they were transported back in time to 1200 BC, and Metamorpho was once again exposed to the ancient meteor and restored, Shaun.
He wakes up just like, you pricks.
I fucking hate all of you. Who's involved? I was quiet and lovely and dead.
I was out. I had finished it.
And so he briefly came under Acton's control before the outsiders could stop him, and they captured Acton, which I don't feel like, if you capture a wizard from the 1200 BC, can you put him in jail in modern times?
It depends. Did he do any crimes in the modern day?
No, all his crimes are 1200, so the
statute of limitations there.
I was thinking that. It's out after 25 years, isn't it?
It's something like that. I don't know the law.
He's a free man.
He's a free man. He can do whatever he wants. They're holding him illegally. They're the ones at fault.
Mass genocide in 1200 BC. Absolutely fine, 2021.
Do you want to say that again?
And then I just want to clip that, send it out.
Say goodbye to Connor's presidential campaign. But
oh no! Upon the return to the 20th century, Rex learned that the second exposure to the meteorite transformed him permanently. So he was no longer even able to form himself as a human.
So he just what is he most of the time?
So most of the time he's like he's like an ugly grey dude. But like before, back in the day, he's like handsome, slick soldier for hire. So he was like morphing back into that.
Right.
But now he's been exposed again after his death, and so now he has to constantly be this ugly grey monster thing.
Does he just look like a fucking corpse like most of the time?
Not corpse. I mean, it's like, I don't know how you would describe it. Can you see an image of him?
I have
anywhere?
him here now, and yeah, he's a grey blob of, not a blob of a man, but he's just grey. He's got a nice little purple and yellow spandex thing going on. Lovely
purple and yellow. Yeah, it's not bad as an outfit.
No, not at all. But I do see he's not. You wouldn't call him a handsome man.
No, but back in the day he's meant to be. And so, which saddened him so he gets turned back into this monster properly, and he's like devastated. And he's like, oh no, nobody's going to love me, I'm awful. And Sapphire, who's been there since the very start, she proposes to Rex.
Aww.
And she says, I still love you, let's get married.
Sapphire, I hope nothing bad ever happens to Sapphire, because she's the nicest DC character we've ever seen.
She's the opposite of Michael Chiklis's wife in Fantastic Four,
who just up and leaves. Like, it's so mean.
You're a hideous monster. Fuck you. I hate you.
And there's that scene on the bridge where he's trying to pick up the ring. Oh my god.
Yeah. Not good. Later, every episode will devolve to Michael Chiklis talk at some stage.
It always
I'm hoping to get that started. Later, the outsiders filed an assassination attempt on Simon Stagg. So the outsiders stopped an assassin taking out her father, who hates Rex.
Yes.
Still.
Right.
But because they stopped the assassination, Simon gave Rex and Sapphire his blessing for the wedding. And as Rex and Sapphire readied for the wedding, his former foe, Maxwell Tremaine, sent his shape-changing lackey, Even Steven, to kidnap Sapphire.
Guys. Even Steven.
That's pretty great, isn't it?
It's pretty alright, honestly.
But Even Steven, as much as he sounds like Shia LaBeouf, he's a nice guy. And so he kidnaps Sapphire, and he's like, right, it's on your wedding day, so something has to happen. But he's like, I feel a bit bad though. It's on our wedding day. I mean, come on now, Rex is not bad. So even Stephen betrays Tremaine and kills Tremaine. And is like, I'm no longer involved in this. Fuck you.
I'm a hero.
And so after these events, Rex and Sapphire finally get married. And these next few sentences are my favourite part of this whole report. And I've added them in because these are sentences I found online about this one particular story. And it says, after the wedding, the happy couple decided to try to find a way to conceive a baby.
Oh, jeez, we'll put our heads together. We'll figure this out.
And then the next line is, hopes for children were dashed after much physical examination.
Oh, I'd say there was.
Fucking was. Fucking Jesus, Rex.
Rex, man amongst men.
After fucking much physical examination. I was examining all fucking day trying to figure it out.
So that's kind of it's kind of a weird thing to fully just say. It's like, oh, they can never have kids because he's a weird element monster.
Yeah, and so they're trying to figure out a way. They decide to try to find a way to conceive a baby, which is only funny to me if you think of it that he has never been explained what sex is. And so him and Sapphire like get married and like, oh shit.
How do we get this stork to visit us?
Do his number. What the fuck's the story with this? Right? And so, unfortunately, while I should say, hopes for children were dashed after much physical examination, and so Rex agreed to undergo an experiment which would infuse him with new DNA. Unfortunately, while Dr. Jace began this treatment, a whole other story started, and the Manhunters activated all their sleeper agents on Earth, including Dr. Jace. You don't need to know, just means they activated a bunch of sleeper agents, and just as he's about to get DNA to make a child, the Doctor gets activated.
Right.
And Jace turns evil. But, I mean, it's a case of he's like, I'm about to get everything I love. Oh no, it's ruined.
I was so close.
So before she could be stopped, Jace destroyed Metamorpho and herself.
Right.
Again.
and that's the end of him. He's never shown up in comics since. Yes, correct.
Metamorpho lay dormant and was believed dead, Shaun, for some time. Finally, he was reconstituted by the Dominator's gene bomb. Just a way to write him back in.
I miss writing Metamorpho comics.
Soon thereafter, he resumed his heroic career.
It's completely fine with everything that had happened up until this point.
And you know what added to the fun? He suffered amnesia. And he forgot about his family, right? So he forgets about Sapphire and everything, right? And he's off with the Justice League in Europe. And what's happened is his family eventually seek him out. And they come after him. And to his surprise, Sapphire comes in holding a new infant son called Joey, Shaun.
But Connor, they couldn't figure it out.
But could they?
But could they?
They fucking could after much physical examination.
They figured it all out.
She walked in with the baby and Batman high-fived him. Yeah!
My man.
My man! And so what happened in between is that she had a son called Joey, but she'd also had some pressure from Simon, and she ended up marrying Java, the original henchman.
Oh! The guy he hates more than anything else in the world.
Yes. And so him and Sapphire had to go their separate ways because she felt he was dead because he'd been dead twice already. Second time, definitely dead.
No coming back from that.
And so when he came back, she was shocked. And so, of course, they had to break up again because of the whole, comic books. But at the same time, I have amnesia. Oh, wow, I have a son. Oh, no, my wife is with my arch nemesis.
But I also have amnesia about that.
Again. Did I forget about the last amnesia?
I'm
Do
not
I have
sure.
it again?
Double amnesia.
So it seemed tragedy would ever follow the element man, as his son, too, was cursed by the meteor of Acton.
Brilliant. Well done, folks, we did it.
Unless contained, the boy would randomly transform the elements around him, so the opposite of what his powers are.
Oh, that's a better power, is it?
Better power. You could turn anyone just into some gas.
Oh, do you want a list of gases you could turn them into?
No, I don't want a list of gases.
Okay, fluorine.
Imagine you turn someone into fluorine. It's game over.
It's game over. Your jaw would hit the floor.
Yeah,
Ian.
Ian.
That's me talking to my friend Ian.
Improv's not for everyone. Unless contained, the boy, as I said, would randomly transform the elements. For everyone's safety, Rex agreed to place the boy in Simon Stagg's care for some reason, even though Simon has been nothing but bad to him.
Nothing but an absolute devil.
Once that was done, Stagg forbade Rex from ever seeing Sapphire or Joey again, because of course he did.
Yes, but also, no, there's no, I was going to try and, like, surely Rex as a super-powered man could just go and visit whenever he wanted.
Turn into a gas, go in through the filter system,
if I had to pick one,
solidify.
I would pick sulphur.
I wouldn't pick like something that was poisonous and go in through, because you might kill the boy.
Oh, you're not going to like chlorine.
Does anyone need some pool cleaning? What happened was Rex abided this until he met a woman named Gillian Conway, and she was also transformed by the meteor. She convinced Rex that she knew a way to cure them for their metamorphosis, and Rex hoped that this miracle would work for his son too. So he's like, oh, it's going to save my son. He's no longer going to be cursed with this fucking awful power of being fucking godlike.
Yeah.
I'm going to take his powers away.
Right. And this is definitely not a trap and will work fine.
So Rex hoped that, as I said, the miracle would work for Joey. So he stole Joey away from Simon. Before it was too late, Rex discovered that Conway had misread the hieroglyphics that she was working on, Shaun.
You fucking tick, Conway.
Oh, fuck's oh no, I've misread the hieroglyphics. The start of every great plot.
Like, did she just give it a go? Like, did she actually know hieroglyphics, or it's just like, it probably says this, and she just ran with that?
It's a picture of like a guy throwing a baby. I think he's playing baseball. I think that's what's going on.
I think they could time travel, yeah? Yeah.
And so, before it was too late, as I said, when she attempted to reverse the process on herself, she was instead destroyed. So Gillian's dead.
So
she
technically, doesn't have the powers anymore.
In the confusion, Joey had escaped and had found his way to the meteor. He just found his way there. You know how it is.
You little scamp.
Now, there's an interesting bit. Since the meteor transforms those who touch it, and Joey transforms the things that he touches, both cancelled each other out, and Joey was cured of his condition, and the meteor was rendered inert.
Big win for Joey. Joey's coming out on top. He's a regular boy now.
Who could have predicted that?
They didn't want another Metamorpho running around.
No. So the way they did it was he basically fought with everything he had to get his son there, and the girl gets destroyed, but Joey gets healed, but he still can't be healed himself. So Metamorpho still has to say the same way that he is.
But he's still happy for his son, correct?
A very heroic act that he gets his son to be happy and live a normal life and not be a freak like his papa.
Fucking coward.
Touch the meteor, Rex. And so what happened then was he gets asked to join the Justice League, and he's kind of seen as a bit of a standby member at this stage. But mostly what happens is once he cures his son, he just kind of goes back to being part of the Outsiders, first being led by Nightwing, and then it gets led by Batman. And so he's just constantly part of the Outsiders, and this is before the New 52. And in 2007 they kind of changed it up, and that his origin was that he was a Treasure Quest TV show host, and he was one of those guys that like goes on these treasure quests, and he just came across the meteor and it gave him superpowers.
That's less interesting, I would say. It's less convoluted, but it's less interesting.
I like convolution. I think if you're going to do it, make it convoluted.
Yeah, like I was laughing about it at the start, saying it's ridiculous, and it is ridiculous. But the TV one is just dumb. It's like they're trying to get it happen as quick as possible.
Yeah, and so in terms of his powers and abilities, Shaun, he's got unique physiology. Metamorpho's physical body appears segmented with each limb, appearing to be entirely made of a different elemental substance, whether it is liquid, solid, or gas, depending on what he wants to do. He's got elasticity. He can stretch, bounce. He's better than Bouncing Boy, you could even say. He can reshape his body. He's got elemental transmutation. Rex can transmute his body to any of a wide variety of liquid, gas, or metallic elemental compounds and form it to his will. Originally, he was limited to the elements which occur naturally in the human body, but over time, this limitation seems to have disappeared. He can alter the shapes and consistencies of these elements and combine them to form even more complex compounds. So he can combine elements on his own body.
He's just a chemical lab, like, ready to... He can make himself into meth, technically.
He could make himself into anything. He can make his right arm something and his left arm something, and then combine them together to form something else.
Yeah, so he could do, like, hydrogen and oxygen and make some fucking water.
Yes, if he wanted.
Or he could just turn his whole body into antimony.
Everyone's favourite money, other than the currency.
Very good.
Molecular reconstruction. Stagg once boasted that Mason possessed the potential to sub-molecular variance at will. So more than simply changing his own molecular atomic structure to will, but altering the very chemical nature of other objects, even at a distance. He's got flight. By turning into a gaseous form, he can achieve flight. He's got metamorphosis, which makes sense because he's Metamorpho. He can also shape parts and portions of his body instead of the whole. He can form such complex shapes as a tank and a bicycle, very complex, and such simple forms as a cloud or a spring.
I would say a spring is more complex.
A spring is harder than a bike, surely.
Yeah, spring has to be like perfectly wound and bound. We've all fucked up a slinky before.
We've all been there. He's got enhanced durability, so he's basically you can't damage him whatsoever. So he's invincible. He can't die because he can just keep being brought back to life. He can stretch anywhere. He's as strong or any element, anything you possibly want.
Even cesium?
Even cesium.
I really like this bit.
Mixed herbs or basil. They're some of my favourite cesiums.
Very good. Very good, Connor.
Biofission. After his absorption of Shift, who was another member, he was Shift. Oh, this is going to get confusing. I skipped this. But Shift was a part of him that broke off that then just moulded back into him. But the part of him that broke off was also part of the Outsiders.
Right, okay. We'll just let that be as it may.
It's fine. He can create duplicates of himself from his body, basically, is the power.
That's usually someone's entire power.
They can each move and speak. Although they are not able to perform his regular special abilities. And Rex typically absorbs them before engaging in battle. So it basically stretches his powers, but he can make as many versions of himself as possible. He can't be killed. He can stretch as long as he wants and turn into any single element that has ever existed or will ever exist. And yeah, so his weaknesses are Orb of Ra. That's it.
The Orb of Ra. Right, fair enough.
The one Orb of Ra that exists in the whole world.
That's his only weakness. And does that just Does he have like a lock on that? Does he know where that is, or is it just out there somewhere and he's not worried?
I mean, even if one person has it, he can attack everyone else.
That's true. He should have gotten his kid to touch that before he lost his powers.
I mean, he wasn't thinking ahead. Joey was getting away from it all.
Joey, you little prick. Thinking you can run away from it. I'll throw this orb of Ra at your head.
It's so big. What do you think of Metamorpho?
He's really cool.
Ultra powerful characters.
Like broken in his in his power level. Also weird that he doesn't pop up more often.
He's only come back from the dead twice. That's not that bad.
No, it's less than most. But like honestly, that's a character that could go down like the villain route if they wanted to, probably. But it's nice that he doesn't want this. But while he has it, he's gonna do the best he can with it, you know?
Yeah, I think it's a case of like he constantly just thinks he's a freak and he doesn't want to be a hero, but then he has to do good because he's like, it's the classic Spider-Man of I have these powers, so I'm gonna need to do something, as Uncle Ben always says to him. That's the classic line. Or
as it's clunkily said in Homecoming, when you can do the things that I do but you don't, and the bad things happen because of you.
Oh, smooth,
rolls off the tongue.
So Shaun, that is my report on Metamorpho. He can be found in a lot of animated shows, and especially I think he's in Young Justice as well. And so he's just one of those stretchy characters, but he's stretchy and he can duplicate himself. He's got those two powers, but also the ultimate power of being unkillable and can turn into anything in the whole world.
And can turn into combinations of anything in the whole world as well.
Just make new things.
Just make new things, make them up on the spot. Make a new element, it's fine.
Why not?
Well, very well done. A meta-marvellous report, as usual, Connor.
Thank you very much.
Would you like me to take us out?
Yes, I would. I'm trying to think of a gas joke, but I can't.
Very noble of you. The noble gases, you know, because the ions and shit, you know. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Hero or Zero. We'll be back Monday with Movie Mondays, Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, next Friday then with another episode of Hero or Zero. Big thank you, of course, goes out to everyone who supports us over on the Patreon, patreon.com/heroes for hire podcast. Link to that in the description. Everyone who supports us over there gets access to our movie reviews that we do. Most recent one that we did was Superman Returns. So listen to that if you're interested. There's a whole bunch of them up there. Follow us on all the social medias. They're all linked below. But the most important way you can ever help out the show is by telling one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
Good night, Rogen. Yes.
Perfect. We'll end on that.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.